Welcome, friends. One more day of our studying Shastras, trying to understand the goal of life and means also. Welcome you all and the hearty congratulations that you have chosen to be on this path. The highest of all one can definitely consider without any hesitation. That is that of studying Shastras and getting convinced about the truth. What more greater endeavor than we can be than this? So let this be deeply percolated into our heart that what we are doing is the best, and let us do this best in the best manner. Loka Sevaka, Dharma Sthavaka, Viragi Bhakta, Shishya Mumukshu, Jignasu Shrota, Sadhaka Prerita, Prashanta Gambhira, and Sanskrita Bhasha Jnata Parishrami. These are the 13 Vyaktitvas which we are aiming at consciously. And wonderful, the Brahma Tattva, all pervading for us to identify. Ishvara Tattva, all powerful to bless us for anything. Jagan Mata Tattva, like a mother, are ready to give us the protecting. Sattva Guna, the Devata Ganas, are given this job by the Lord to bless. If we invoke their help, blessings, the Guru Ganas, they have taken up this job of guiding us all through, and the Shruti Mata, a permanent treasure to put us on the Adhyatmika Marga. May we realize the presence of all these, value of all these, need of all these, and the technique to invoke their help in our life. Yes, we are here to study our Shwethashwathara Upanishad, first chapter, 12th mantra. We have seen in the first line that etad gneyam, only the truth has to be known, nityam, all the time, atma samstam, as it is in our own heart. First, realize the self in one's heart, then he alone is seen everywhere. Without seeing in the heart, trying to see him somewhere else is like throwing the diamonds and trying to search for the glass pieces, or throwing the food in the hand away and licking the hands. So, etad niyam nityameva atma samstam. Then, more important than this is nata param veditavyam hi kinchit. It is a thought of anything else, gives birth to anything else, and then very soon, without our notice, that binds us. This is the power of Maya playing as the mind. Therefore, to help us out so that whatever good study sadhana we are doing should not get neutralized or cancelled away by the opposite thing. The Shruti Mata says, Na ataha param veditavyam hi kinchit. Other than this, there is nothing worthy of knowing. Don't get excited by, don't get anyway influenced by the thought that there is something is there other than Brahman. When there is nothing, then how can we say there is something which is important or valuable? So all of that is being thwarted by this second line. Third line is, then what do you mean by realizing the Brahman in the heart? Is very powerfully said in third and fourth line, that in the heart, when the self is not known, from the heart only, through the sankalpas, the Jiva Jagadishvara are projected. Thus, enough, we are lost in it. Therefore, one, transcend these three and see him. Two, after seeing him, be in him, yet see these three also, but with the difference that these three are none other than his expression. And these three are there only for a Leela, for a transaction or Vyavahara. Those two lines we have to study of this mantra. Then in the 13-14, we will be given the Pranava Upasana, because it is accepted, adopted in all beautiful Upanishads. What is all that? Let us try to go through today. And before that, let us do our sankalpa. Before that, our prarthana. सबसे पहले a few minutes of our today's common sense thought. Hmm. Today's common sense thought will have one, two, three, four things. First thing is, we have seen it many a times, that how erratic, how disturbing, how meaningless become all our thoughts and actions when we don't have the certain prescribed or accepted goal. When there is no prescribed or received or made certain goal, in a very funny manner, with all what do you call it as, mm, erratically, our whole life's activities are there in that, whether you call them as just like that passing the time, just like that lazying away or sleeping away, or just like that fancying in the mind, and just like that involving in anything, not even knowing how bad the consequences will be, we will involve. This is a way most of the human beings live, because certain goal is not there. The goal is every moment. Whoever have the goal, they are disciplined. And if that goal is positive, they are really lucky. They are really blessed by their own decision. Therefore, first thing is what? Without the laksha, we make our life nirlaksha. Laksha rahita is a very erratic way of living, troubling others also, troubling ourselves also, wasting the time, resources also. Have we reached this first point? Is our first discussion today. Without the goal, how the whole world of beings are erratically living, and you and I also. Therefore, must be the goal. There must be a goal. Second is, with so many of Shastras studied, you should be very clear that how can there be any goal other than the ultimate? Isn't it? When it is not infinite, when it is not endless, when it is not complete. So finite and full incomplete. How can there be a goal? See, in conceiving the goals which are limited, finite, we are proving we are ignorant, we are childish. Simple common sense is that have that goal. Having reached where, again we need not have any other goal. Isn't it? We think that way only, even in our materialistic world. We get such a job that we need not again think about anything. Good job we got. So to stay in such locality, place, select it such a manner that it's the best. We don't even need to think any other place. I am chosen the best place. So to make a house, it should be so beautiful that except some inner repairs or inner improvements, there should be no asha for the house better than this. ऐसा हम घर बनाए. So to make such financial assets that we are not worried or feared any time throughout life. Don't we see have such friends that throughout life they are assets, they are loving, they are good. So too when you look for a bride for your son or a bridegroom for your own daughter, how do you look at कि जिंदगी भर वो अच्छा रहे, समधी भी ऐसे रहे कि there will be no issues at all. Everywhere we are looking at such thing only. Now, the problem with all this is our aim is good, that we want everlasting. But the problem is those things themselves are not everlasting. Our thought is correct कि ऐसा दोस्त मिले कि जो हमेशा साथ देवे. That's very good, but cannot possible. Even as a great dost, the time separates, the various other reasons separate. So that always remains as a dream. Even the financial assets. You may have sufficient, but then they may not be helpful in some problems. What will the money do when we are mentally tortured for some reason? Self insufficiency, we are troubled in the mind. What will your thousands of rupees or crores that are there in the bank will do? How many people, multimillionaires, committed suicide? So, none of these are permanent, and there are some problems where these things may not help us, will not help us. So, the idea is good, but that's not possible there. In the same way, what we are saying is it intelligence to have such goal which is limited, which is endful? Having reached where again we are tempted to go for something else. It's not a wisdom. Wisdom is once one stage we reach, nothing more should be there ahead of it for us to go. And that's what all Shastras unanimously talk about the Parabrahma Paramatma. He is such a goal when we reach. He is infinite, He is blissful, He is never ending, He is never diminishing, He is never perishing. And there is nothing other than it, greater than it, beyond it. They have experienced it. But then only they have that audacity to say audacity in all the Shastras. Audacity. So therefore, first thing was the goalless life is like the rudderless ship in the waters. A goalless life is like the clouds pushed by the winds to hither and thither, as it called. Like a tornado, anywhere it pushes the things en route. A goalless life. Therefore, must have the lakshya. Second is, if we have to have lakshya, no less than the permanent should be lakshya. Permanent is only Paramatma. Therefore, other than Paramatma, having lakshya itself shows we are not fully mature thinkers. We have not understood. Our intellects are childish only. It's so common sense, simple. You can never have any goal other than Paramatma. Because He alone is permanent, infinite. By choosing any impermanent, non finite, or finite, non infinite, finite goal, we are deciding to be miserable tomorrow. We are ensuring that we will suffer tomorrow because that goal is finite. अब क्या करोगे वहां जाने के बाद? तो फाइनाइट है ना, पेरिशेबल है वो. How can be the finite perishable be the goal? Question karo. Big question it is, serious question it is. It's a basic question but very important. Here is where our every sort of understandings maturities are tested. एक ही सवाल पूछ रहे, क्या हम फाइनाइट एंड एंडफुल गोल रख सकते हैं? If somebody say, yeah, yeah, I'll do that, I'll achieve that, then one some more goal I'll have, some more goal I'll have, then we cannot talk to such rude and unintelligent, egoistic fellows. How can you say, this I'll achieve and again it will be empty, then in between I'll suffer and some more goal I'll have, and again I'll struggle to achieve that, and that also is finite and that also will end, then again I'll be suffering, then so it shows his intellect is corrupted there. The uncorrupt pure intellect says, yeah, if there is something which is infinite, which is endless and limitless, yeah, that should be aimed. Then you should ask what it is, sir. That's what the Mundaka Upanishad, Kasmin Vijnate Sarvam Vidam Vijnatam Bhavati. And in Gita Bhagavan, Yad Gatva Nanivartante Tadhama Paramam Mama. And that is my Paramadhama, having reached where there's no coming back to the lower limited life. So, with all these things, seriously, we have to sit and discuss within ourselves and decide that nothing can be the goal other than Paramatma. Nothing can be the goal, nothing should be the goal. Do we have that intellection? Do we have that, what I call, ability, stability to understand it, accept it, and deepen this thought? Keep this thought very deeply in the heart. कि लक्ष्य हो तो केवल प्रभु भगवान परमात्मा तत्व. Think about it. Right now, only close your eyes. Not to answer the teacher or questioner, but to one's own self question. Did we ever think this way and decide once and once for all that my goal is only Paramatma? Isn't it? Do we have it? We have 1,000 goals. One of them is this. वो वैसा नहीं चलता. And that, हाँ महाराज आप कह रहे हो तो ठीक है, आपके लिए मानते हैं, आपकी आत्म शांति के लिए. किसी आत्म भी तम शांति के लिए नहीं होना चाहिए. For our own matured understanding, with our own matured understanding, in our own interest. And in fact, a matured person understands and feels how silly is these fellows who can have any goal other than Bhagavan. कैसे हो सकता है यार? Then he will be pitying them, sympathizing only. So he is going to be miserable. With all his efforts put, with all his goal reached, still he is going to be miserable. Because that's not permanent. That's not eternal. That is endful. So, with all this thinking, second point we are coming to the understanding, or at least data is given for you to further think and understand is only Paramatma should be the goal. You know, fix हो जाए उसमें, or with full clear intellectual thinking and any questions, doubts are there, they are answered. How relaxed the heart becomes. How relaxed the heart becomes. Like when you stay in this city, beautiful. Heart is relaxed. But in terms of cities, there are better cities also. Then बाद में may regret, feel guilty. यार यहाँ क्यों था करके. And that's all Maya. कि which time which city becomes lower, where the convenience will be better, where convenience is useless, in which city the governance is great, other place. ये सारा बदलता रहता है. अब मेयर बदल गया तो सिटी सत्यानाश. अब what can you do? But choose this goal. Everybody else who have chosen other goals will be lower than us only, lesser than us only. If at all, some people, they are maximum equal to us. Nobody can have higher goal than us. Because the highest goal is this only. Only one different kind of people will be there other than us. That is who have already reached the goal. Siddha Purushas. And this goal is so great, so beautiful, that there is nothing other than it. Therefore, you need not feel regretted or guilty for choosing it. No need to have second opinion or second thought. और कुछ हो सकता है क्या स्वामी जी? परमात्मा का लक्ष्य को छोड़कर और कुछ कर सकते हैं क्या? अरे क्या पूछ रहे हो? You laugh at yourself for that. Good one. That way, just see, cool inside the heart. Paramatma is the goal. Once reach him, all other things are time pass, all entertainment. They are not goals. They are just relaxations. You cannot have these things as goal. They can't be. They are not real, first of all. Mm. Second point. Now, third is crucial. What is it is? If Paramatma is our goal, spirituality is our goal, please remember, throughout our life, whatever required for us or whatever we have to provide it to the world, let all of that be from the most pure spiritual standpoint only. You know, first spiritual outlook, then only the intellect, the emotions, any other actions follow. Means somebody comes to you for a suggestion. So don't give any suggestion other than spiritual. First to give highest spiritual. Thereafter only any other immediate things to be done about that give suggestion. So that we are saved. Otherwise we are contradicting in ourselves that we have aimed at as spiritual as ultimate goal. Then same thing we are not conveying to others. How can it go together? For our life also. Whether we have to decide something, whether we have to obtain something, whether we have to conceive something, सब के लिए पहले आध्यात्मिकता ही माध्यम होना चाहिए. From that standpoint only, when you have to assess a situation, look at a situation from that standpoint. Thereafter, at the vyavahara level, different things. Without missing the paramarthika drushti, first basic it. That's the basic. Secondary, in the vyavahara, at that time, what's required. है ना? Paramarthika drushti. First paramarthika drushti. People will laugh at it. Therefore, don't tell them. You have it in your heart. Now, the American elections. Look from Paramarthika Drushti. In the Paramarthika Drushti, there is not, America is not there. There are no elections are there. There is nobody elected or, what do you say, non-elected. Even somebody is elected, they are not eternal. 5 years, Nautanki, what they do, that's it. First spiritual outlook, that nothing is permanent. Then come to the Vyavahara level. For the intellectual satisfaction, if you require, स्पिरिचुअल सीकर को तो ज़रूरत नहीं है. आप 100% स्पिरिचुअल नहीं है तो उसके ऊपर कमेंट वमेंट करना है, देन यूज योर इंटेलेक्शन, यूज योर डेटा एंड ऑल, सो मैनी. उसमें भी थोड़ा सेमी स्पिरिचुअल थॉट इज व्हाट it is a prarabdha of the entire American population. Together they have selected and they are going to have those things as a result, which will start slowly unfolding. For which alone those people are selected, whoever they are. Then you will see them. Like 5 years back, whoever was selected, what he had to do, he has done it. That is unfolded. So this is also semi-spiritual outlook. Very worldly outlook is what? Now what is the affairs of that nation with other countries? How do they respond to Israel conflict or the other Russia-Ukraine war? And the friendly countries, will they become inimical now? Inimical countries, will they become friendly? And what will be the benefit to India if these people are elected? ये सारा बहुत लौकिक है. But they have their own at that time importance. Means in the period of history, definitely these 5 years will have the effect of somebody there in our country. Isn't it? होता तो है, inevitable है वो. And it is a point of concern also. But not as ultimate as spiritual. Because from millions of eons, so many rajas are coming, going, mutually are influencing each other, nothing remaining permanent. You understand? An example. So too within India, J&K, Jammu and Kashmir, with so much of difficulty, that article is aborted and then the state is made calm, quiet. Now the elections have come, the stupid fellows have voted those bewgoofs. Now they come together and they want to restore it. आप देखो फ्रॉम द स्पिरिचुअल स्टैंड पॉइंट, अब ये तो चलता रहता है दुनिया में. नॉट ओनली इन वन कंट्री, द होल पूरा ब्रह्मांड में ही दिस गोज ऑन. Some type of fanatic, some type of dushta, sometimes rakshasas, want to rule, want to become overpowered or predominant, overpowering. So, from for a spiritual outlook, we have to see basically. Then come to the lower level of what it will be, what is to be done then. What will the central government do? Will they impose the president rule? They have to do it. ज़्यादा हद से ज़्यादा चला जाता है तो, isn't it? So this is how everywhere I give just three political reasons or examples. You apply it to your own personal life. What is happening to your children? First, see from spiritual standpoint. Save the skin. Then at the Vyavahara level, what best suggestion can be given and help can be done according to the Shastra, do it. Our job is over. Now the ball is in their court. Whatever they do, they get their consequence. You need not worry. Isn't it? Any of the issues, first look from the Adhyatmika. We will not go wrong. Sometimes in that outlook, immediately there may not be some benefits. Immediately there may be some losses. But spirituality is always gainful only. ना इसलिए कॉन्सिक्वेंटली फाइनली से फायदा ही होता है, कोई डाउट ही नहीं. This habit of looking from the tattva drushti, paramatma drushti, paramarthika drushti is a very good one. It will always keep our heart lighter. Otherwise, with everything which is happening in the world, which is meaningless, which is delusionary, we load ourselves. We make ourselves very heavy, and none of them have any solutions. They're meaningless. What do we have solutions for all dream problems? A horrible dream came yesterday. इतना भयंकर दुखी. What is the solution? Wake up. Other than that, can there be any solution? If it is, then that solution will have its own beginning for the next problem. संसार में एक समस्या का समाधान दूसरा समस्या का मूल होता है. Isn't it? Like I want my own house. It's a samadhana for the rent house. But it is a beginning for another problem that now you have to be maintaining it. Because rented house, you need not worry. Owner को बोल दिया, he'll put the whitewash. अब you have to do it. Every problem's solution in the world is a cause for another problem. याद रखो. I want a power. I want to minister. That problem is solved somehow. ये वो करके बन तो गए minister. But it's a beginning of other problem that whole portfolio you have to take care now. You can't be negligent. आपको और एक समस्या शुरू होता है ना? Like I'm unmarried, problem staying all alone. Good, get married. That problem is solved. But the other starts. You have lost your freedom total. You have to be with other person. Every time you have to adjust and compromise. Call it as love, call it अब नाम कुछ भी दो बस. You lost your freedom, that's all. So to know children is a problem. Good, you got a child. That problem is solved. Now उस गधे को मतलब उसको जो भी देना है, you have to go on doing throughout life, isn't it? You know, the fellow who comes, we never know. But once he's born, he becomes the life. He becomes the goal only of the life. देखो, see the delusion there. It becomes a goal. I'm just telling you. इसका अर्थ ये नहीं कि don't get married, don't have children, or don't have house. अर्थ तो ऐसा नहीं है. But every problem will have its own subsequent. Solution will have another problem. But look from the spiritual standpoint, first of all, and then बाकी सब. फर्स्ट यू सी स्पिरिचुअल, उसके बाद बाकी सब जो है ना गलत सही उसमें कोई मायना नहीं रखता. स्पिरिचुअली यू हैव लर्न टू लुक एट इट. है ना? किसी को एक्सीडेंट हो गया, लुक फ्रॉम स्पिरिचुअल स्टैंड पॉइंट. किसी को एक्सीडेंट नहीं होता क्योंकि एवरीबॉडी इज आत्मन. हुआ तो शरीर को हुआ बस. पहले मेन पॉइंट डिसाइड करो. एंड इन दैट यू कॉल इट नेग्लिजेंस और केयरलेसनेस और प्रारब्ध और म्यूचुअल प्रारब्ध और अब ये सारे ऑलरेडी पढ़ चुके हैं हम. और जो आंसर वहाँ अप्लीकेबल होकर मन शांत होता है वो अप्लाई करो. And some intelligent people without any spiritual knowledge, simply they decide क्यों एक्सीडेंट होना था हो गया, अब इट्स अ सॉल्यूशन, अब क्या करना है कर ले जा अस्पताल में भर्ती करो आप, लेट्स इट. They don't have any spiritual knowledge of this life, but they have learned earlier. Therefore, they know how to respond. They won't trouble their mind much. Why accident happened? तो होना था हुआ, नहीं तो नहीं होता था. अब क्या करना है सोचो. It's a solution. So the first one is without goal, life is very chaotic. Second, the goal has to be only Paramatma. Third, learn the art of looking at everything from that ultimate standpoint. Then we are safe. Many may not agree or accept, doesn't matter. We are not here to oblige others or satisfy others. We have to save our skins first of all. Fourth one is little different from this, a different thought, but useful one. What is it? Key, think for oneself. Key, have we put sufficient efforts in truly maturing as a result of whatever we are involved? है ना, विदाउट दैट परिपक्वता फिर जो भी हम कर रहे हैं वो तो व्यर्थ ही है ना, वेस्ट. सो द थ्री फोर थिंग्स. वन, द एज वाइज मेच्योरिटी. एज अवर एज इज न्यू, अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट एज जो मेच्योरिटी होना चाहिए हमको अबाउट आवर सेल्स इन द वर्ल्ड एट लार्ज, डू वी हैव और स्टिल एट वॉट एवर द एज वी आर स्टिल लाइक चाइल्ड. दैट्स कॉल्ड एज एज वाइज मेच्योरिटी. क्वेश्चन करना है अपने आप को, क्योंकि day by day when days are passing, we have to really grow also. We can't be as silly as we were when we were young or the child age. अब उम्र का भी अपना परिपक्वता, प्रौढ़ता we call the text प्रौढ़ानुभूति. We will be seeing that in a evening class. So age wise maturity we have to have. Second is the what we call as professional maturities. So many professions, so many things we have done, because of which there should be some consoling, quietening maturity, which consoles us or which quietens our agitations. Oh, है क्या देखना है. Third one is more related to you and I. कि we are studying Shastra so regularly. Are we matured in line with this regular effort of studying Shastra? Satsanga wise maturity, let us call. शास्त्र अध्ययन सत्संग दोनों का हो, वो वाला मेच्योरिटी जो होना था वो आना था, आया क्या? इट्स ओनली अ क्वेश्चन. ईच वन विल हैव टू आंसर टू देमसेल्व्स. नहीं आया का अर्थ क्या हुआ कि वी हैव नॉट डन आवर जॉब फुल्ली वेल देयर. सेम वे द साधनास मेच्योरिटी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. इफ एट ऑल वी आर डूइंग सम साधनास, उससे जो आउटकम होकर हमें जो परिपक्वता आनी है जिंदगी में, in terms of maybe more convinced, stronger knowledge, or in terms of experience. Like I am doing japa, कितने साल? 10 साल. अब कितने 10 साल में क्या होना चाहिए था, हुआ क्या? Isn't it? I am doing upasana. How many years you are doing? I am doing for 6 years. तो उसका क्या है आउटकम सो फार? तो जो साधनाएं हम कर रहे हैं उसका मेच्योरिटी, उसमें सब आया था, गुरु भक्ति और ईश्वर भक्ति और उपासना or any of the sadhanas, उसका outcome क्या है? If you are doing mechanically, then that outer doing never touches our inner heart. We don't get transformed. Such fellows 40 years सुबह 4 बजे जाके मंदिर में मत्था टेकें तो भी वो बदलेंगे नहीं. लिटिल पुण्य में कम, है ना, तपस्या के कारण. बिकॉज हु गेट्स अप सच अर्ली मॉर्निंग, टेक्स कोल्ड बाथ एंड गोस टू टेम्पल, वो वाला पुण्य मिलेगा उनको. But when you go to temple, attending the pujas, knowing the whole purpose of that puja, the processes, and what should be the outcome of it, for me, when I have to go, अब इनका हमको कॉन्सिक्वेंस देखना है. उसका फायदा नहीं हो रहा, सो देन वी आर जस्ट लाइक दैट बुल और बफेलो और काउस, वो घूमते ही रहते हो तेल निकालने को, है ना. in the olden technique of taking out the oil from these oily seeds, वो गाय को भैंस को मेनली बैल को बांधते, वो घूमता रहता है वो, इट इज गोइंग ऑन मूविंग मूविंग मूविंग, नो रीचिंग नोवेयर, ओनली इट इज वर्किंग हार्ड but reaching nowhere. Our famous example of putting the cycle on the stand and then riding, reaching nowhere. So, have we got this maturity in us? Age wise maturity, Shastra Adhyayana wise maturity, Sadhana wise maturity, and also our relation with Guru and Bhagwan. उसका जो है, जो होना है मेच्योरिटी हमारे अंदर आ रहा है कि नहीं, हमें सोचना पड़ता है. याद रखना, सबका बेसिस है सोचना. one's own vicharana. Vedantaha vicharaniyaha. Yesterday we saw in our evening class. So these are the 3-4 things today we thought of. We have done it. Let us see how it helps us. Krishna. Om. 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 ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः. ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्यासम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः. ॐ यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्. ॐ शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः. ॐ निधये सर्वविद्यानां भेषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्. ॐ विदितानमया विशदैककला न च किञ्चन काञ्चनमस्ति गुरो धृतमेव विदेहि कृपां सहजां भव शङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम्. ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः. श्री श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदाचार्येभ्यो नमः. अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः. संकल्पः तेषां कृपया उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्षप्राप्त्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकहैन्दव संस्कृतेः साम्प्रदायिनां शास्त्राणां भक्तिज्ञानयोगवेदान्तादिमोक्षमार्गाणां गुरुशिष्यभक्तभगवत् परम्परादीनां पुनरुत्थानजागरण समस्त विश्वव्याप्ति विश्व आध्यात्मिकप्रगति एकता शान्ति पुरोभिवृद्ध्यर्थम् अस्मिन् सनातनधर्मसंस्थापने कङ्कणबद्ध अस्माकं सह सर्वेषां पूर्णायुरारोग्यादीनां द्वारा धर्म संस्थापन कार्ये निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थं श्रीराम मंदिरवत् शिव कृष्णादि समस्त मंदिराणाम् आश्रमाणां पुण्यदिव्य क्षेत्राणां विश्वविद्यालय भूभागादीनां पुनरवाप्ति तेषु निरंतर शास्त्र अध्ययन अध्यापन उपासना यज्ञयाग साधना सेवा तपस्यादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातन धर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यंतर शत्रूणां शाश्वत रूपेण समूल निर्मूलनार्थं भारतवर्षे विश्वे च अस्मात् क्षणात् आरभ्य वैदिक हैन्दव संस्कृतेः सुसंप्रतिष्ठावाप्त्यर्थं विश्वे मोक्षधर्म पुरुषार्थ प्रतिष्ठा द्वारा विश्व संरक्षणाभिवृद्ध्यर्थम् अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां सर्वेषां संकल्पित सत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयार्थं तेषां हृदये परब्रह्म भक्ति भगवत भक्ति देवता भक्ति गुरु भक्ति शास्त्र भक्ति सत्संग भक्ति साधना भक्ति सेवा भक्ति माता पितृ भक्ति देश भक्ति धर्म भक्ति सनातन धर्म भक्ति आदीनां द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थम अनेक शास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये श्री कृष्ण यजुर्वेदीय श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदः आद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्नं मोक्षार्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे. आदौ पारायणम्. ओम अथ द्वितीयोऽध्यायः. Friends, yesterday we have done the first chapter, chanted completely. Let us do 5 mantras of the second chapter. ओम अथ द्वितीयोऽध्यायः. ओम युञ्जानः प्रथम मनः तत्त्वाय सविता धियः अग्नेर्ज्योतिर्निचाय्य पृथिव्या अध्याभरतु युक्तेन मनसा वयं देवस्य सवितुः सवे सुवर्गीयाय शक्त्या युक्त्वाय मनसा देवान् सुवर्यतो धिया दिवं बृहज्योतिः करिष्यतः सविता प्रसुवातितान् युञ्जते मन उत युञ्जते धियः विप्रा विप्रस्य बृहतो विपश्चितः विहोत्राददेवयुना विदेकः इन्मही देवस्य सवितुः परिष्टुतिः युजेवां ब्रह्मपूर्व्यं नमोभिर्विश्लोक एतुपत्येव सूरेः शृण्वन्तु विश्वे अमृतस्य पुत्राः आये धामानि दिव्यानि तस्तुः. ओम शांति शांति शांति. ओम नित्यानंदं निराधारं निखिलाधारम् अव्ययं निगमाद्यगतं नित्यं नीलकण्ठं नमाम्यहम्. अथ प्रथमोऽध्यायः. ओम सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः. ओम शांति शांति शांति. अथ द्वादशो मन्त्रः. एतद्ज्ञेयं नित्यमेवात्मसंस्थं नातः परं वेदितव्यं हि किञ्चित् भोक्ता भोग्यं प्रेरितारं च मत्वा सर्वं प्रोक्तं त्रिविधं ब्रह्ममेतत्. Friends, this shloka and its completeness and simplicity is so beautiful it is. But we have to have that intellect to catch it and heart to accept it. First line, etad gneyam nityameva atmasamstam. Atmasamstam etat paramatmanam eva nityam gneyam. That Param who is there in our own heart alone has to be always known. Means what? Be in that knowledge of I am that Brahman only. Don't come out of it. The same thing, in many other texts, like Samam Praptam na Chalayet in Mandukya Upanishad, in many other places. Remember, while reaching to Paramatma Tattva, all other jobs to be given up, only that sadhana to reach Paramatma we have to do. Having reached Paramatma, stay in that only. Need not come out. There is no reason to come out. As a goal, as a meaningful purpose. You come out just maybe for some vyavaharik transaction. Etadgneyam nityameva atma samstham. Second line is complementing this. Nata param veditavyam hi kinchit. Atah param, other than this Brahman, beyond this Brahman, veditavyam na kinchit. There is nothing worthy of knowing. There is nothing to know. The moment you detach, remove your attention from the truth, suddenly the whole world appears to just bind us, entangle us. And the world has its own mesmerizing techniques to mesmerize us and pulverize us later on. ये वाला जिसने पकड़ा ना फिर वो जाएगा नहीं बाहर till he gets established in the Atma Anubhuti. With that Anubhuti, then that Anubhuti as the Kavacha, he will go out. He will see the world, but he will not be troubled. बिकॉज कवच धारणा किया उन्होंने कि मैं तो ब्रह्म हूं, ये मेरा ही प्रोजेक्शन है वगैरह. सो नाथ परम वेदितव्यम में किंचित. कोई दूसरा जानने का ही योग्य नहीं है, फिर कामना करने का योग्य है का, फिर उसको पाने के लिए प्रयत्न करने का योग्य है क्या कुछ नहीं. दैट्स व्हाट वी आर डूइंग संसार. See, this won't click easily. Yeah? Decades together, lives together, sincerely when we listen Shastra, that time suddenly it clicks. And there is nothing other than Brahman. How come I am seeking that? By seeking that only, it is remaining as real. You just drop it, it goes away. And when you are in that infinite Brahman, hold on to it. Why that fancying? Why that habit? Why that, what do you call the vasana, pushing us into the world outside? See that? Now you understand the meaning of ajnana and vasana and moha and upaditadatma and bahirmukata. Do you feel the meaning of them now? When I know the self alone is everywhere. Is there anything other than self? No. But thinking that is something other, it's called as ajnana. That creates the vasanas. That creates the delusion of the duality of me, the seer, and the world seen. And that delusion leads to all type of sankalpas and karma. And we are bound in that for no reason, for no purpose at all. But can you tell this to those people who are fully engrossed in the world and worldliness? वो तो हंसेंगे. They see इतना substantial world is there, involvements are there, works are there, benefits are there, सुख भोगा are there. उनको ऐसा लग, जिनको तत्व ज्ञान दृढ़ नहीं होता, उनका पड़ला उस तरफ भारी रहता. But the one who studied Shastra thoroughly, Upanishads thoroughly, Bhashyam, and realized that for everything substratum is one, everything else is superimposition on that. You will not have those sentimental attachments to anything. That is the meaning of na atah param veditavyam hi kinchit. Literal meaning is what? Other than it, beyond it, there is nothing to be known. Veditavyam means to be known. For this Paramatma alone is real, complete, Purna. If at all you see something, that is by your choice, you have done a sankalpa. Therefore, the world has appeared for you in front of you. That is your own mind's play. Remember, mind is the one which projects the entire world, gives it reality, creates ragadvesha to that, makes us plan, do the work, makes us get the result, and makes us to become a bhokta, a jiva, a samsari. In reality, ऐसा है ही नहीं. राइट एतज्ञेयम नित्यमेव आत्मसंस्तम नातः परम एतव्यम किंचित. आत्मसंस्तम की बात भी हमने पुराणों से देख लिया. सो मेनी पुराणास that the self has to be realized in the self only, the Brahman inside us. Now, bhokta bhogyam preritaram chamatva sarvam trividam brahmam etat. There are two lines we have to see today. सर्वम प्रोक्तम त्रिविधम ब्रह्ममेतत्. The literal meaning पहले कैच कर ले, then let us study the भाष्य. भोक्ता भोग्यम प्रेरितारम. I, the bhokta, the world, the bhogya, Ishvara, the prerita. These three are the ones which are covering Paramatma Tattva. Therefore, ये तीनों को साइड पे करो, then you will realize Brahman. Then moksha is over. Then again, Trividam Brahmametat. Even after that, when you come back to play in the world, these three are always known to be Brahman play. So know the gold as gold and play with the gold in molding the ornaments. Know it as mud, then play in the play of projecting so many pots. Don't say pot is created, pot is real, pot alone is important, there is nothing called as mud. Don't fall to those levels of rigidities, stupidities, and ignorances. Hold on to the mud. Then play with the pots, etc., projected on the mud. Hold on to that Brahman beyond the Jiva Jagadishvara and play in the Jiva Jagadishvara, knowing that they are unreal, holding on to the reality. That's the meaning of Bhokta Bhogyam Preritaram Cha Matva. Then Sarvam Proktam Trividam. Sarvam Trividam Proktam. Everything in the world falls in the category of these three. But all these three are Brahma Metatu. And we have seen yesterday, again we will see. The entire world of Bhogya, let us take. Shabda Sparsa Prasagandha, infinite. Remember, all of them are the pure Sachidananda Brahman only projected in that Rupanama. Rupanama projected on Sachidananda Brahma is the Jagat. Panchakosha projected on Sachidananda Brahma is Jiva. Sarvagnatva, Sarvashaktimatva, Sarvayapakatvadi, Maya, etc. Projected on again the same Parabrahman is Ishvara. Main word in all this is projected, not really happening. Real happening means what? When the Nama Rupa is created, from where the Nama Rupa created, that should go away. But that Sat cannot go away, on which the Nama Rupa is projected. Because it is Sat. You understood? It cannot become Asat. That was the first stroke of Gita. You know? Bhagavan says na कि na sato vidyate bhavaha na bhavaha vidyate satah. If it is sat, it cannot cease to exist. For every rupa nama, sat is a substratum. You cannot make the sat as a sat. On that sat, the rupa nama which you are projecting, they will go on changing. That's what you are saying. Same way, the panchakoshas within me. Beyond the panchakoshas, there is Satchit Paramatma. On that, here these Panchakosha, there those Panchakosha, here there those Panchakosha. In totality, the Ishvara's Panchakoshas, they're all Kalpita, projected. That Kalpana ka Karana Maya. Maya is a infinite Shakti of Paramatma only. So therefore, how to know the self inside the heart? Understand that other than the self, whatever the life we live, it is in these three words only. Bhokta, Bhogya, Prayarita. Know that the Paramatma is beyond these three and substratum of these three. Second point. Third, by all the sadhanas prescribed, known, understood, reject these three. This is how you reach the Paramatma. Okay, moksha. Then, when you come to Vyavahara, these three will be there. Bhokta, Bhogya, Preritara, but not as other than Paramatma and not given so much reality that it is covering the Paramatma. So you eat the ice cream. He is the Bhokta, it's a Bhogya. But Brahmarpanam Brahmavi. The eaten ice cream is Brahman. The eater also is Brahman. The medium also is Brahman. And if somebody is asking, how is it? The asker is also Brahman and is very tasty. Do you want one more? Yeah. Even the answerer also is Brahman. This is what we have to catch. A Brahma Jnani is not rigid जैसे कि मेरे को ये नहीं चाहिए वो नहीं चाहिए वो जो है वो उसमें ब्रह्म को देखते हो इसलिए ब्रह्म में नहीं फंसते. What is Brahma? I want ice cream or I want something else. Both are Brahma. Or I don't want ice cream. He doesn't want it, doesn't want it. Today these topics will thoroughly see in one of our texts. क्या किस में हम देखेंगे बात शायद योग वासिष्ठ में देखेंगे. I am explaining the word Bhokta, Bhogyam, Preritaram. These three concepts are the one which are hiding the reality. Know it. By knowing it, reject these three. Rejection is done by knowing that they don't have their own independent existence. All that should happen in our own deep contemplation. The technique of contemplation is what we discussed just now. Bhokta, Bhogyam, Preritaram Chamatva, Sarvam Proktam Trividam. Sarvam is Trividam Proktam. Uktam I explained to you yesterday. The mud is called as pot. That's it. There is nothing called as pot other than mud. Uktam. Mud, Ukti is a reality. Ukti means a Visheshana Ukti. With the Rupa to differentiate, you gave a name called as pot. You cannot say wo le aao because it is a vague sentence. You want some container which brings the water. So therefore, even though the substratum is mud only, You can't say mud layout because the fellow will go and bring mud only. With mud, your purpose is not fulfilled of bringing water. Therefore, to avoid the confusion of wo layout, to avoid the confusion of mud layout, what is told is pot layout. Only for Vyavahara sake that pot name is given. But within the pot, mud only is there. But you cannot say mud layout in the Vyavahara. In the Paramatma, pot is not required. But when Vyavahara, the pot is required. Pot can never exist without the mud. You cannot say mud layout. You cannot be vague also, wo layout. Okay, क्या ले आओ? Oh, मिट्टी ले आओ. You will bring mitti only, with which you cannot bring water. You have to say pot. When you say pot, he is bringing mitti only, but different name. Shape is not there. Remember, the mud as a mud in the shape of pot have no difference. Only name made difference. Name makes all the difference. There is no difference in the mud as mud and mud as pot. What is special? इसमें कोई special नहीं है. You impose the utility, then you see speciality. Utility aspect of bringing as water, for what bringing water in it, you just drop that thought, है ना. The mud can be any shape, so what, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता उसका. इससे रूप का कोई मायना नहीं है, सिर्फ नाम से ही सारा सृष्टि अनेक बन रहा है. Keep that thought in the mind, it will help on the seat of meditation, that when you really close your eyes, the whole world you see. What is it? Nothing but your own thought. What is the thought? Nothing but a formation of the thought in one form and giving it a name. Like you are in my mind. Who are you in my mind? My own mind. Taken your shape, and to that name is given Mr. So and so. But that's nothing other than mind. And mind is nothing other than me. The consciousness. Without consciousness, mind cannot be. Without the mind, thought cannot be. Without the thought, the world cannot be. World of Bhokta, Bhogya and Prerita. Remember, it's only Natak ke vaste, Bhogya, Bhokta, Prerita from our life. When it is not real, how can it give Sukha and that also real Sukha and that also permanent? That's the whole problem, that we never happy with anything you get in the world. जो चाहो दिया जाए. In that beautiful भक्ति मार्ग ना, लोग इतना भगवान को उपासना करते. They just Bhagwan comes, they cry Bhagwan ka darshan mila. Yo, then they ask some boon. Whatever the boon they ask from Lord, that become cause of their bondage. विचित्र है. जो मांगा उससे परेशान होते. Because the all is unreal. Let us see what Bhashyakara has to say. Okay. Now, Katham etad gneyam, straight away I am going to that line. Katham etad gneyam iti aha. Etat atmatattvam आत्मसंस्थम आत्मतत्व कथम ज्ञेयम इति आह. Bhokta Jivaha. First, be clear in the understanding. Bhokta is the Jiva, the me. Bhogyam Itarat Sarvam. The entire world of Shabda Sparsha Prasagandha, which is other than me, is all the Bhogya Vastu. Third one is Prerita. Who is he? Antaryami Parameshwaraha. So the Parabrahma Paramatma with Maya Shakti, whom we call as Parameshwara, he is called as Prerita. परमेश्वरः तद् एतत् त्रिविधं प्रोक्तम्. See, this is what we explained already. Now we are studying and re-explaining. Etad trividham, these three times what? Prauktam. Prakarshena uktam. It is specifically spoken. A mud is called as pot. But otherwise, what is all pots? Mud only. So, etat trividham prauktam brahma eva iti. That is the meaning. Tad etat trividham prauktam brahma eva iti. Means what? Without Brahman, they cannot be. So, value the Brahman. Don't value them. If you value, One, you go away from Brahman, you get lost in the Vyavahara, relativity. If you don't value them, you are freed from the relativity, you see the reality. Again, we are seeing Etat Trividam Prauktam Brahma Eva Iti. Brahma only specifically talked is these three. If we value them, these three have Vyavahara. The Vyavahara becomes real in our life. When we are busy in Vyavahara, where is Paramarthika? You can't know. Therefore, when we drop them or give the zero value to them, we are no more in Vyavahara. अरे when व्यवहार छोड़ दिया तो क्या बचा है? परमात्मा है. एतत् प्रोक्तम त्रिविधम ब्रह्मम एतत्. Brahma only is spoken in these three forms. So tad etat trividam proktam Brahma eva iti. Okay, what is meditation here? Therefore, seated quietly in the heart, we try to realize that Brahman, which is our own self, Sachidananda. While doing so, because of the habits, the bhokta, bhogya, prerita, vrittis, thoughts keep on coming. We should know that they are nothing but Brahman, named and called. है ना? Brahman alone is bhokta and bhogya. With this thought that भोक्ता भोग्य को छोड़ देना चाहिए, वैल्यू नहीं करते रहना चाहिए. After some time, that vritti vyapti of bhokta bhogya that dissolves. Then what is there is ever what is there, that alone is there. That is Brahman. In this way we have to know. So tadeta trividam proktam brahma eva iti. That is why, to explain it, Bhashyakara very clearly told bhoktradi ashesha भेद प्रपंच विलापनेन एव. भोक्त्रादि अशेष प्रपंच विलापनेन एव. भोक्त्रादि अशेष प्रपंच विलापनेन एव. Only when we do the vilapa of the entire prapancha, which is Bhoktra Adi. Adi means the other two. Bhokta, Bhogya and Prerita Namak, a Ashesha Prapancha. When the dissolution Vilapa of it happens, Vilapanena Eva Nirvishesham Brahma. So therefore, what are these three? The Brahman with Maya, a Visheshana given, is called these three. So when the three Visheshas are Vilapita, then Nirvishesha Brahma Atmanam Janiyat iti artha. For a Jnani of the Adi Shankara height or Shwethashwathara ऋषि height, it is so easy. निर्विशेष ब्रह्म को तुमने विशेष दे दिया, वो भोक्ता होकर प्रेरितार बन गया, वो संसार. और छोड़ दो उनको विशेष देना, यू आर निर्विशेष ब्रह्म. With their matured practice and experience, it is so casual for them. But for us, the vasanas, the wrong notions, the inhibitions, the lot of holds through emotions and attachments, ये सारे मिलकर भोक्ता भोग्य प्रेरित तीनों को छोड़ने नहीं देते. Like in any issues also, somebody died. So sentimental and emotional, क्या होगा दुनिया का उसके बिना. ए मेच्योर पर्सन जो जिंदा जो जन्म लिया एक दिन मरेगा ही, मर गया बस खत्म बात. What is there? The one who understands these deeper truths, for them all these are very meaningless. They will not become emotional. When one knows that cinema is only a projection, in that movie, any emotion, sentiments, whatever happen, you will not suffer. ये बकवास है सब तो projection है. I am entertaining myself by seeing it. But you know the director has made the hero and heroine not to meet toward the end. He killed heroine and he killed hero. ऐसा क्यों किया? अरे सब सिनेमा है, इसको मतलब मत दो. But he doesn't know it, then he will see and he will bite his own nail, become frustrated and all. In the same way, the jnanis of that order, it is so easy for them. भैया भोक्ता भोग्य प्रेरितर, ये तुम्हारे मन का मत वाला मत है, इस कारण से वो तीन दिख रहे हैं, ब्रह्म नहीं मिल रहा तुमको। उन तीनों को डिवैल्यू करो, विशेष चला गया, निर्विशेष ब्रह्म यू सी एज योरसेल्फ, दैट्स ऑल। This stage of knowledge, if they are giving, means what? All the vasanas, all the antakarana impurities of kama advikara, along with value given to the world and its bhoga, they have transcended with viveka and vairagya. Therefore, they are not issues to them. For us, they only are the issues. Therefore, we are not able to go to the next level. Like every parent will have a child, children have to be brought up with the best of their abilities. Those parents who have this majority, they don't have issue in loving the child or kicking the child, depending on requirement. Because he'll have to be brought up. Now he requires or desires love, giving love. He is indisciplined, एक डंडा मारना है, but they give it. In our good old days, ऐसे होता था. They very clear, our children have to grow. For that sake, they will kick us if required. They love us if required. Nowadays, children have to grow. That thought is not there. He's my child. That attachment is there. Therefore, where he has to be loved, that they do over loving. Where they have to kick, they don't kick. Clarity is not there. Example. Hmm. Lovely thought it is. Bhoktradi ashesha bheda prapancha vilapanena eva nirvishesham brahma atmanam janiyat iti artha. You have to realize the nirvishesha Brahman as your own Atma. That will happen only when you drop the Savishesha. Savishesha Bhokta Bhogya Preritara. Prerita is rejected by the same. The Bhokta and Prerita both are rejected by the Mahavakya Tattvamasi. तत्वमसी में उत्तम पद का विशेष निकलवा देते हैं पंचकोश, उसमें भी तत्पद का विशेष निकलवा देते हैं सर्वज्ञत्व सर्वशक्तिमत्व इत्यादि. And then what about the bhogyam? We have just now said it is nothing but the sad vastu in the rupa nama is called as the world of shabda sparshadi. Sat misinterpreted is the name and form which we will call as bhogya. Sat misinterpreted through panchakoshas is called as bhokta. Sat misinterpreted with the samashti shakti is called as Ishvara. अब इन विशेषणों को छोड़ दो. The other day we saw Vivek Chudamani, he's a Raja, he's a soldier. अरे soldier का राजा का वर्दी निकाल. Both of them are a common citizen of the nation. That's it. राजा का कुर्सी से उतारो और उसका वर्दी निकाल दो. अब दिस सोल्जर का वर्दी निकालो. Both are same. Don't you see it in so many places? आर्मी में ना बड़े ऑफिसर का अलग अलग होते हैं, सेकंड वाले थर्ड वाले अलग. अब व्हेन वन मीटिंग दे पार्टी दे मीट विद अ सिविल कॉमन ड्रेस, दे बोथ ऑल आर सेम ओनली. दे आर जस्ट अटेंडिंग दैट पार्टी, कोई रैंक वैंक नहीं होता. एनी अदर प्लेस यू कैन सी इट. दैट इज वे राजा को बड़ा सिंहासन पे बिठाते टू स्पेसिफाई दैट ही इज ए किंग. जस्ट इमेजिन राजा उधर से उतर रहा है. द वन स्टेप एज इज कमिंग डाउन. At that level of one step down, whichever is the person, with him he becomes equal. And there in the Rajya Sabha, the common men also are there. He just came amidst them. He is nothing special. He's one among all of them only. So specifications, सविशेष उसका व्यावहारिक मीनिंग होता होगा, but पारमार्थिक में that's the biggest obstruction. So maintaining its importance in the Vyavahara, yet ability to reject them to reach the Paramarthika is sadhana. So, Bhoktradi Ashesha Bheda Prapancha Vilapanena Eva Nirvishesham Brahma Atmanam Janiyat. सो भोक्ता मत बनो, जगत को भोग्य दृष्टि से मत देखो और पीछे मत पड़ो ईश्वर का, कंटिन्यू मी एज ए भोक्ता, गिव मी ऑल द भोग्य वस्तु. स्टॉप ऑल दैट नॉनसेंस, यू विल सी निर्विशेष ब्रह्म. I think in the subsequent chapters, the sadhanas for transcending these three concepts of Bhokta, Bhogya, Prerita, that Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara will be told to us. We have already seen some ideas. हो गया. तथा च उक्तम कावशेय गीतायाम. There is a Kavashaya Gita. In that says, Tyaktva sarva vikalpanscha svatmastam nishchalam manah krutva shanto bhaved yogi dagdhendanivanalaha tatacha Shri Vishnu Purane tasya kalpana hina swarupa grahanam hi yat manasa dhyana nishpadyam samadhi sovidiyate iti. Now same what we saw commented by Shankarji is given as quote from these two, Kavashaya Gita and Vishnu Purana. So it's a very important thing. It will be a repetition of what we saw now, but very essential. Here, what we have to do, we will know that the Kalpita Visheshana Tas we have to drop. Then the Nirvishesha Brahman is known. Very beautifully in simple words said in these two mantras. We'll ponder over them tomorrow. With that, this mantra of 12 will be over. Then the 13, 14, Pranava Upasana is given to us. And that also has lot of pahalus. One or two will take from different Upanishads. What is said in Katha, what is said in maybe Prashna or Mundaka, mainly Mandukya will take. What is the meaning of Pranava Upasana? So tomorrow half of the class will do this, maybe lesser than half. Then we enter into the new mantra. Om 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 Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Parabrahmane Parabrahmane SHRUTI Namaha Tatsat Brahmarpanamastu. Friends, join in 3 minutes for Gita. Thank you.